Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-week world currencies, stock markets and commodities deep dive for Friday, August 8th, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Major currencies showed mixed performance against the US dollar. The greenback weakened to 0.8589 against the euro, while dropping more notably versus the British pound, closing at 0.7434. Against the Japanese yen, it strengthened marginally to 147.70. Looking at returns, the dollar has declined 11% year-to-date against the euro. The sterling showed similar strength, with the dollar down nearly 7% this year. The yen has been relatively weaker, with the dollar declining 6.1% year-to-date. In longer-term performance, the Swiss franc has gained significantly against the dollar, showing a 17.9% appreciation over 10 years. The Australian dollar has weakened, with the US dollar gaining 13.8% over the same period. Among other currencies, the US dollar showed particular strength against the Indian rupee, marking its sixth consecutive weekly gain. The yuan and Singapore dollar both strengthened modestly against the greenback. Short-term returns show the rupee as an outlier, with the dollar gaining 2% year-to-date. Meanwhile, the Singapore dollar has strengthened nearly 6% against the US currency since January. Over the decade, the rupee has seen the most significant movement, with the dollar gaining 36.9%. The Singapore dollar has shown resilience, appreciating 7.2% against the US currency over the same period.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Austria and Poland led the pack, both surging 7.1%. Spain followed with a 5.8% gain, while Japan reached an all-time high, up 5.2%. Sweden rounded out the top performers, rising 5%. The weekly returns show impressive momentum. Poland and Austria both posted strong average daily gains of 1.4%. Spain and Japan averaged about 1% daily, while Sweden maintained steady progress at 0.9% daily. Looking at longer-term performance, Poland stands out with a 33.6% annual rate over 3 years. Spain and Austria delivered around 19-26% annually. Japan and Sweden showed more modest but stable growth, near 11-12% annually. Among underperforming markets, Israel declined 3.2%, marking its second consecutive down week. India fell 1.1%, extending its losing streak to 6 weeks. Norway, Indonesia, and United Kingdom managed slight gains around 1.2-1.4%. Weekly performance shows Israel averaging -0.6% daily losses, while India declined about -0.2% daily. Indonesia, Norway, and United Kingdom managed minimal positive daily returns near 0.2-0.3%. In the long-term view, Indonesia shows concerning weakness with negative returns across all time frames. India and Norway struggled with low single-digit annual returns over 3 years, while Israel and United Kingdom maintained modest positive growth.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Gold futures hit a new all-time high, closing at 3,491.30, up 91.50, showing very strong upward momentum. Silver futures advanced 4.2% to 38.51, while palladium futures declined 6.6% over 3 consecutive weeks. Month-to-date returns show strength in precious metals, with gold and silver both up over 4%. Aluminum posted a modest 2.8% weekly gain, while palladium continues its downward trajectory. Long-term performance shows gold leading with a 10-year return of 123%, followed by silver at 100%. Aluminum has been relatively flat over the decade with just a 43% gain, while palladium shows mixed results. Energy futures showed broad weakness. Crude oil fell 5.1% to 63.88, while Brent Crude dropped 4.4%. Natural gas declined for a third straight week, down 3%, with prices remaining flat over the past 3 days. Month-to-date losses are mounting in energy markets. Crude oil and Brent are both down over 7%. Natural gas shows a 3.7% decline, while gasoline has dropped 4%. 10-year returns in energy remain modest. Crude oil leads with a 45.6% gain, while Brent shows 37%. Natural gas has struggled, returning just 6.9% over the decade. Live cattle and feeder cattle both hit new highs, with impressive 10-year gains of 52% and 58% respectively. Lean Hogs plunged 15.6%, while Class 2I milk rallied 7.9%. Grains continue their downward trend. Corn and wheat both hit new yearly lows. Rough rice bounced 4% despite its negative trend. Oats broke upward after 4 days of consolidation. Grain futures are showing significant weakness across most commodities. Corn futures hit a new one-year low, closing at 382.75, down 6.75, marking 3 consecutive weekly declines. Wheat futures also recorded a new yearly low at 518.25. A bright spot was rough rice futures, rising 4% to 12.74. Looking at longer-term performance, grain futures show concerning trends. Corn and wheat have both declined over 37% in the past 3 years. Soybean futures have fallen nearly 30% over the same period, while oat futures show a 25% decline. Soft commodities showed mixed performance today. Coffee futures surged 8.7% to 308.95, while cocoa rose 5.1% to 8,654. Cotton futures, sugar, and orange juice posted modest gains under 1%. In weekly returns, coffee leads with an 8.7% gain, while cocoa follows with 5.1%. Year-to-date, however, most soft commodities are down, with orange juice showing the steepest decline of nearly 52%. Looking at decade-long performance, cocoa shows remarkable strength, with a 178% total return. Coffee follows with 142% gains. Orange juice and sugar have also posted positive returns of 78% and 53% respectively over 10 years.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-week World Currency, Markets and Commodities episode. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, Cold Brew. Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.